Ooh, yeah, this is too light. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am doing two reviews. So this is going to be a 2-in-1 review video on the new Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette called Naughty. And then we have the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. Well, it's not really, these aren't really new anymore. I feel like they've been out for a minute now. But the new Huda Beauty, and I said new again, the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. This is in the shade Hot Fudge. If you guys are wondering my shade, this isn't really my shade, but that's the shade I used in this video. So we'll start off with the eyeshadow palette. The eyeshadow palette has 18 really nice, beautiful colors. You have a few marble shades. You have Slippery right here, which is this clear gloss with encapsulated beads. I'm not sure exactly what it said, but it said encapsulated beads. You have a lot of shimmers. This is a real holiday palette. When this palette came out, you guys, I was really thinking about getting it, but I was like, you know, I don't really want to spend that much money because I forgot to mention, well, I haven't mentioned yet, but this palette is $67. So it's definitely pricey, but if you've bought Huda Beauty palettes before, you know that's really their price range when it comes to their eyeshadow palettes, unless you get the mini ones. And the next thing I'm going to be reviewing is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation Stick in the shade Hot Fudge. This was $39. This is my first foundation stick. So I'm just going to show you guys how I got this eyeshadow look. I'm going to give you guys a wear test on this foundation and just share my thoughts on both products and tell you guys how I like it. So if you guys are interested in seeing how I got this gorgeous look, gorgeous eye look, beat nice beautiful face, keep on watching and let's start. Jumping right into my eyes, I already did my eyebrows and I have on the Alma Beauty brightening concealer. It's the Stay Woke brightening concealer in the shade Black Pearl T1. So now we're gonna go ahead and try this palette. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and try this palette. This is the new Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette called Naughty. When you open the palette, you have a lot of very different shades. Really what drew me to this palette was the shade Slippery, which is right at the bottom here. The shade Slippery is a glossy shade with encapsulated bronze and berry pearls. I was really interested in just trying out this shade along with all of these marble shades. As you guys can see, I just don't have an eyeshadow palette that has marble shades and a glossy shade like this. It's just very different, and I love that all of these colors are fall and winter. I would wear this palette around the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. It's just a very, I don't know, almost luxury palette. I also like that it has the directions on how to use these shades on the back. So I'm actually going to be following along with the directions, well, at least I'm going to try to. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started, y'all. I'm so excited to use this palette. So the direction says build your base with the matte cream marble and matte power shade. So either a matte shade or a marble shade. And then it says pick up metallics and cream shimmer marbles using a brush in small circular motions and apply on lids for an illuminating finish. Build an extra layer using your fingers or a sponge for a high shine foil effect. Okay. I'm excited, y'all. I keep looking down, you guys, because my mirror and my viewfinder is down here and I'm able to see, so sorry about that if I'm not looking directly into the camera. I think for my eyeshadow look today, I'm gonna try to stay away from pink because I feel like most of my makeup videos, I always gravitate towards pink shades. So in today's video, I kind of want to go for a gold or rose gold eyeshadow look today, just to switch it up a little bit. I'm using Arouse for my transition color. So that's just this really, ooh, I like how it applies too. It's this really, I would say it's a peach shade. Has a little bit of orange along with some pink undertones. So I'm just using that to build up my crease area. This shade showed up the same way it looked in the palette, and I love that. Next shade I'm going to be using is Untamed, which is this really deep burgundy or purple shade, and I'm gonna focus that right on my outer corners. I'm honestly not surprised that these colors are this pigmented, just because I've had two, well, this is my third Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette, and they just never disappoint. They're very pricey, but you definitely get what you pay for. When I'm applying these colors, there's not a lot of fallout. These colors are very silky and velvety. I think it said that in the description of this palette. They are very buttery. They're just really smooth. Like when you guys get this palette, or if you already have this palette, you know what I'm talking about. But they just feel very soft. So after everything is blended out, I'm going to go in with one of the marble shades. I'm trying to follow along with the directions on how to apply the eyeshadow shades. I'm going to use Flower Power, which is this gold and cream marble shade in the middle. And this is going to be the base. Ooh. Flower Power is going to be the base for the next shade I'm about to use. This is very glittery. Oh, I don't want to mess up the swirl. That's one thing about this eyeshadow palette. The more you use it, the more you kind of mess up the marble swirl shade look that this palette has going on. I'm pretty much using Flower Power to cut my crease. So the next shade I'm going to be using, you guys, is Please Me, which is right there. Please Me is a rose gold shade. So I'm just going to put that on top of Flower Power. The directions also said to use your finger. So I'm actually going to take my finger and put it on top. Oh yes, this is perfect. Yep, using my finger. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, this is pretty. Man, these colors are so silky. The marble shade Flower Power is very see-through and just sparkly. But Please Me, on the other hand, is not see-through. Still very sparkly, but not see-through. You guys know what I just thought about? I didn't try Slippery. Oh my gosh, I said I was gonna try Slippery. I might put Slippery on my inner corners. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and do that before I finish applying my eyeliner. But that was the one shade, that's the whole reason why I bought this eyeshadow palette, y'all. But I think I wasn't expecting Slippery to be glossy. I don't know, I just wasn't expecting it to be glossy. So I think that's one reason why I didn't really use Slippery, because it's a gloss. But I'm gonna put that on my inner corners. So I'm just gonna take a smaller brush. So Slippery is, well, let me put it on first, I guess. Oh wow, can you all see that? Let me get closer. Slippery is a very light pink shimmer. I don't know, I was just expecting it to be magical or something. So I am done with my eyes. I don't remember what style these lashes are in, but these lashes are from Tati Lashes. I don't remember the style just because I've been wearing them a lot, so I don't want to tell you guys the wrong style. Moving on to the new foundation that I also got from Huda Beauty. This is their Faux Filter Skin Finish Foundation Stick. This is $39. I got this in the shade Hot Fudge. And y'all, I really just got this because I've never had a foundation stick. I love full coverage. This foundation stick has a natural filtered finish that lasts up to 10 hours. And the coverage is customizable. And then it says light but buildable. So I'm not really expecting to get full coverage from this foundation stick. It was really hard for me to find my shade because the undertones, they only had red undertones and golden undertones. They didn't have any neutral undertones, and I have a neutral undertone. I had to pick between a golden undertone or a red undertone, and if I had to pick, I would still go with the red undertone, although sometimes I feel like some foundations with a red undertone makes me look really red, but golden undertones makes me look really light and yellow. It just gives me this yellow undertone that, I mean, it's golden, so it gives me a golden undertone. I'm gonna go ahead and do a swatch on my hand first. So Hot Fudge has a red undertone. I'm also gonna do a wear test for you guys. All right, so I'm gonna do a swatch on my cheek. So we're just going to start right here where I'm kind of lighter and just drag it all the way down. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. I'm not sure if this oxidizes or not, so I'm not sure if it's going to get darker after I apply it. It's a little too light. I feel like I could have went darker. What do y'all think? I could have definitely went a shade or two darker. Their shade range for their Faux Filter foundation sticks, it really wasn't that wide of a range. They really didn't have that many shades to choose from. I don't really know how much you're supposed to put on. This is my first foundation stick, so I'm not sure. Hopefully I don't put on too much. Ooh, yeah, this is too light. Okay. It goes well with the middle of my face, and that's what I'm talking about, you guys. The middle of my face is lighter than the rest, so as you guys can see, in the middle it blends right in. On the sides it's too light, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this everywhere. Darn, I can't believe I got the wrong shade. That's one reason why I always go for the darkest shade. Well, I can't do that anymore because these brands are stepping up their game. But I used to always go for the darkest shade just for that reason. Like the bottom half of my face is darker than the middle portion. So I always run into the problem of like most foundations matching me right here in the middle perfectly. But when it comes to the side of my face, 9 times out of 10 is going to be too light towards the bottom half of my face. I'm just using a Real Techniques foundation brush to blend this out. Definitely a natural finish because I can literally see all my dark spots. Yeah, one thing about foundation sticks, like I said, I've never had a foundation stick. The closest thing to a foundation stick that I've had is one of the MAC foundations that comes in a compact container. It has the consistency of a foundation stick. It's just a blending process for me. I don't know. I just feel like liquid foundation is just easier to blend out. I think this foundation would be great for people who don't have a lot of skin problems. Like if you don't have dark spots, a lot of dark spots at least, or if you just want a natural finish, I like full coverage. I like something that literally covers up all of my imperfections, really mainly my dark spots. That's really the only thing, but I like foundations that cover all of that. And because I wear makeup so much, I can never tell when makeup feels heavy on my face, because I know some people don't like how makeup feels on their face because it feels too heavy, but for me, I've been wearing makeup for a while now, so that doesn't really bother me. I can never really tell when makeup is like caked up on my face, unless it's like setting powder or something and it just feels like my face just feels stiff. But other than that, I can't really tell when makeup feels heavy on my face. So all right, you guys, so this is the foundation without any concealer, nothing, just on top of my skin alone, and the undertone is really red, so it just doesn't match me. What do y'all think? Just compared to my neck, I always try to match my foundation to my neck. My neck is very dark and cool compared to my face, and the bottom half of my face is dark and cool. So I always try to match my foundations to those portions. This foundation goes great on the middle portion of my face, but when it comes to like overall, I look great. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up my face, kind of show you guys how the foundation looks with concealer and all of that. Then I'm gonna do a wear test. So I'm gonna leave this foundation on all day. Oh y'all, okay y'all, so before I blend out my concealer and everything, I just want to show you guys my contour. So the contour I used was the Beauty Double Take contour in the shade Black Pearl. And if you watch some of my previous videos, I always talk about how this contour doesn't really show up well on my skin. And because of the foundation being red and just too light for me, I can see it much better. So I also put some contour at the bottom just to really finesse this foundation to make it blend in a little better, because I am gonna go out and I just don't want to look crazy in the face. But I will be back after I'm done blending everything out and just show you guys how it looks. Alright you guys, I went ahead and for one glued down my wig because my closure was literally sliding back. This whole wig was sliding back. But I went ahead and finished my face as well. I added a little bit of eyeshadow at the bottom with some bottom mascara, put on some lip gloss. For my face, I just went ahead and did my concealer, just my whole foundation routine that I normally do. So I'm gonna go ahead and run my errands and come back and just kind of give you guys my overall review on the eyeshadow palette and the Faux Filter foundation. I really want to talk about it now, but I want to wait until after the wear test. So it's been about 4 hours, 3.5 to 4 hours. I didn't really wear this foundation for that long, just because I started this video so late. So it's like the end of the day now. It's time for me to go to bed. But this is how my foundation looks right now. I am getting oily around my cheeks, just really my T-zone area. I don't really mind my foundation looking like this though. I prefer my foundation to look, I don't want to say glossy, but I don't mind it having a glow, just because my natural skin is very oily and glowy. So I don't really mind this foundation looking like this. This is normally how my foundations look. I did not apply a primer before I applied this foundation. You guys know I'm anti-primers. I still feel the same way about primers. Yeah, I'm not wasting any more of my money on primers, okay? Because my skin literally looks the same with or without a primer when I'm wearing makeup. This foundation stick, as you guys know, is not my shade. It blends in very perfectly with the middle of my face, but I'm covering up the middle of my face with concealer anyway, so that doesn't really matter. I really needed the foundation to blend in with the bottom half of my face. However, the undertones, they only had red undertones and golden undertones to choose from. I really wish they had that neutral undertone, because my undertone is neutral, so it's very hard to pick the right shade. I still feel like I did a pretty good job picking this shade. It doesn't look bad, but I mean, people go out like this. I just don't like the difference I'm seeing, like my neck and my face. I don't like that difference. No. But it doesn't look bad. I like how it applies smoothly. I like everything about this foundation stick, surprisingly. The only thing is it takes a while to blend out, but I think maybe if I would have wet my brush or used a sponge, it would have been easier and faster to blend out. I don't know. Another thing is I wish they had more shades when it came to the darker shades. They only had a few to choose from, and these shades, it was a huge shade jump from each of the darker shades. Like, I have the shade Hot Fudge. The shade after Hot Fudge looks completely different from this shade, and then the shade before Hot Fudge, it looks completely different. Like, there's really no in-between shades. So in between shades and shades with a neutral undertone, I think that would have helped me a lot. This foundation does not look that bad. I give it a I give it a 7 out of 10, because honestly, if I got the right shade, I would give it a 10 out of 10. So far, so good. It just looks really good on me. Like, I just like how it looks. I like how it applied. I love the packaging. I mean, the packaging doesn't really matter. It's really the product. But I like everything about this foundation except the shade. It's just not my shade. Moving on to the eyeshadow palette, you guys. I love, 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 love the eyeshadow palette. This eyeshadow palette is definitely a holiday palette for sure. There's a lot of glitters, a lot of shimmer. All of these colors are very pigmented. I was very surprised about all of the matte shades. Well, I'm not gonna say I was surprised, because this is my third Huda Beauty palette. And honestly, their palettes just never really disappoint me. But all of their matte shades came up very well on my skin tone. And you guys know, like, if you're brown skin, dark skin, just a darker complexion. Sometimes they can appear ashy on our skin tone, so I love when I get matte shades that just look the same on me as they do in the palette. I don't regret buying the eyeshadow palette at all. I don't know what I was expecting from Slippery, the shade Slippery, but I was not expecting it to just be another pink iridescent shade. It's a mixture of pink and purple. I gotta look at it again, you guys. I wiped it off so quick. I really wasn't that excited anymore after I swatched it, but I need to look. You know what? I got the palette right here. I'm just gonna swatch it again and see. I don't know what I was expecting from Slippery. Like I said, y'all, Slippery was one of the main reasons why I got this palette, and of course all of the marble shades. This palette just looked so different to me. I just wanted to get it. But Slippery was just not what I expected. It's literally just another pink shade. And it's glossy. I wasn't expecting it to be glossy. Can y'all see that? I didn't really swatch it too well, but there's Slippery. I like the name for the palette because starting to think about it, it's wet, slippery. That's why it's probably named Slippery, because it's wet and glossy. That makes sense. So that completes the video, you guys. If you guys have purchased the Faux Filter foundation or the Huda Beauty Naughty palette, let me know what you guys think about it, or if you're thinking about purchasing it, let me know. I'm really obsessed with the palette, y'all. I love the palette so much. I feel like I'm going to a very special event. I'm gonna be the one they're looking for, they're waiting for. I just feel like it's gonna be me. It's me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video if you liked it. Leave your comments down below. Thank you guys so much for almost 50K subscribers. Hopefully we can get to 50K by January. I don't have a goal, to be honest. I'm just taking it all in, and I appreciate you guys' support. I love all of y'all's comments. You guys are so nice and sweet. I'm so happy I have just really nice and sweet subscribers like y'all. Y'all are so positive and y'all really help me out. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching this video. Like I said, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.